the stands. Pure coys, everybody raise your hands. Pure coys, pure coys, pure coys.
Yes, welcome to Pure Coys. Had to do a show after what we've just witnessed in Turkey, and I've got on with me my good friend Dan from the Spurs Danlist. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Nige. How you doing, man? And Charlie, isn't it?
That's the one.
Charlie, how you doing, man? Nice to meet
Not
you.
too bad.
Yeah. How am I feeling, man? Look, we'll have to get into that mess of a performance this evening. But yeah, man. It's good to be on. It's good to chat about the mess.
Yeah, and also I have my son on. Usually we do a show weekly, the Nigel Chonk show. But after that, we thought, well, why not just go live? So welcome, Charlie, to a live stream, first off. Secondly, please don't swear.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I know I can read the room. It's fine. I understand. Don't worry. And we were supposed to do on Tuesday, but then my audio was being horrible. So yeah, we didn't. And we needed to let our steam off after absolute dismal showing tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. Listen, we will get into it. Shall we just get straight into it? Let's get straight into it. So obviously Spurs went to Galatasaray tonight. This was the Spurs team. Forster, Porro, Dragushin, Davis, Gray, Bergval, Basuma, Madison, Johnson, Lancashire, and Sonny was back in as captain. I'll start with you, Dan. What did you make of the team when it came out?
Oh, yeah. Look, I was surprised about Archie Gray. Why is he playing at left back? I mean, it's not fair on the guy. I was talking on Sav's channel pre-match, and we just don't understand it. Like the poor guy, he's not even a right back, but now they're kind of throwing him in on the left. It was a big concern. That's what I noticed. That's what everybody noticed. It was a problem. And then again, we also spoke about the midfield and that it was very light. Going away to Galatasaray, very difficult ground to go and play at. And, and looking at the Galatasaray lineup, looking at their form, some of their players that they got. I mean, look, we will get into the game. Obviously, it went so much worse than I thought it would. But look, initials was like, okay, well, there's some good first team players in there. We had Lancashire starting, but there was good first team players going to feed him in on the left and the right with Johnson and Son. Leicester was worries about the midfield, a bit light. But look, man, yeah, what did you guys think? Because it's really difficult to talk about it, the pre-lineup, and then we've just seen it, and you're just like, well, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Charlie, when you first saw the lineup?
I saw the lineup. I thought, great team. I was really happy. I mean, Dan's right about the midfield being very light, but I thought defense was. I mean, obviously, it's still a strong defense. Forster, although we had some nubby moments, kept us in it today. He could have been more than 3 if it wasn't for some of the saves he made. And then attacking wise, I rate Lancashire. Obviously, scored today. And then obviously Son's back. He's still not fully fit, but it's still a good forward line. Madison in the number 10 role. So I didn't really have any worries, and I thought we'd go there and win. Looking at the team we put out, but obviously that didn't necessarily go to plan. But yeah, we were just terrible at the back. I think that's the best way to describe it. Really, it should have been more than 3. We are lucky to only concede 3 today. Very lucky. It could have been 5, 6, 7 easily.
We will get into it. I know you've only got a half hour, John, but we will get into that. For me, I actually thought when I saw the team, I thought actually that's the best of what we could pick, really. Apart from maybe Solanke up front, but I was quite happy that Solanke didn't start. So yeah, I saw the team and I thought I'm okay with that. that's not a bad starting lineup. Obviously, with what actually happened in the game, didn't turn out that way. But I will go through the Galatasaray team as well, if I can read their names. But the Galatasaray team was as follows. So, Charlie, do you want to read it, mate? We'll go at font.
Muslera, obviously, Sanchez, Icardi, Mertens, good player, Yunus, Sarah, Khan, Torreira, Abdul Karim, Osimhen, Barish, and then I assume that's their manager or something. I don't know. But to be fair, I mean, you look at the Galatasaray team; it's a good team. I don't think it's a bad team. It's they won. They won the Turkish league last year. They won over 100 points. I know it's the Turkish league, but I thought this is always going to be a difficult game, but to play like we did today is worrying. And you always talk about the away form, Dad, and today I think showed why we were so poor away from home. We just concede once and we just let the game drift away from us. We were so bad after we scored as well. We just couldn't defend. It was horrific. I don't know how we didn't concede in that second half. And I know you two don't know either. It doesn't make any sense.
We're getting to it. Dan, watching
my kind of headspace around this match, I wasn't really thinking much of it. I was just thinking it was going to be like a mixed team thrown together, go out to Galatasaray, try and get a result, put in a good performance. I didn't expect to win I knew because we weren't going to play the first team. So, but when I actually thought about it and I looked at the lineup, I thought, well, there's quite a lot of first team players in that team, mixed in with the younger players. And I thought, look, it'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out. But what we saw early on is that we were getting completely overrun and bullied by Galatasaray. And I was just shocked. Look, they got that goal. It was a fantastic goal, wasn't it? First of all, what a goal that was, guys. Look, you couldn't do much about it. Maybe you can blame the keeper. Could he have reached out and saved it? I don't know. He hit it. Fantastic goal. So look, 1-0. You just have to get on with it. And we did get the equaliser. But Galatasaray, they look so dangerous. And it was chance after chance after chance. Our midfield was getting overrun. We were getting bullied. The high line, they kept on getting in behind. I was just shocked. I was shocked. I didn't think we'd be that bad. And the frustrating thing about it all was Ange just stood there. And I know he was getting a little bit aggy. I mean, I don't know if you remember, guys, early on in the game, he was shouting. Did you see that? I don't know. It was like after 2 or 3 minutes, he was really losing it. I thought, that's not like Ange. He normally just stands there. Maybe he's been listening to us. Maybe he was listening to Harry the other day because he wanted him to do that, didn't he? So, guys, look, but Ange was there watching it. We all were watching it. You just had to make a change, drop the high line back, bring on an extra midfielder just to give us a little bit of stability. And he didn't do it. And we could have got slaughtered really in that first half. And we're very fortunate we didn't.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't even so much about the high line, or it's the fact that we were constantly trying to play out from the back. And the first 10 minutes clearly wasn't working. And that's when Ange should have been like, okay, let's go direct, even just for 10 minutes. Let's go direct, hit the ball long, try and pick up a few second balls. What did you think, Charlie, of the opening? Obviously, what do you think of the goal? Was a really good goal, wasn't it? But
the goal was a thing of beauty from them. And when that went in, I can't really have any complaints, really. It was out of nothing, Galatasaray were always going to start well. I felt, especially at home. I felt that they were always going to pin us back, especially with the team we have. I don't feel like we're, mentally strong enough to, And I always thought we might go down a goal early, but it was more the thing that was more frustrating was how, like I said, Ange, he didn't change anything. We know how stubborn he is, but he didn't foresee the fact that we're playing in a ground which we've never played at before, entirely new atmosphere, against a team, which they have so much quality up front as well. and we were still just leaving so much space in that midfield where they were just. It was like when they get the ball in the centre, they just play one pass and they'd be in. It was like playing FIFA against us. They just get the ball, press Y, they're on goal. It was ridiculous, and you partly blame that down to the midfield, but you have to put some blame on Ange for that. And I think you guys are drawing onto that with Ange about how defensively we look so poor, and we do a lot, but against the Fenerbahce team, I know they've got some good players. That should have been 6 today, easily.
I got to say though, I don't know. I did put a comment in one of the group chats we were in, Dan, and because Ange was getting a lot of stick, and I get why. But for me, I don't think it can all be down on Ange, can it? I mean, the players just couldn't even pass the ball straight. Under-hitting passes.
Look, it was diabolical. Come on, we can't. What else can we say? It was so bad. Like the team just looked like they didn't know what they were doing. You just can't excuse it. I know it was going to be a really hard game, and we were going to be under pressure. But Ange playing with that high line, playing with that light midfield. I mean, it was really, if you think about it, it was suicide, wasn't it? It was suicidal tactics. But also the players, and like Nigel, like you said, you kind of have to put it on the players as well. Where was their kind of pride and fight? And they went missing, didn't they? Other than that kind of equaliser, they all went missing. And I haven't listened to what Ange said after the game, but guys, I don't know if either of you have, but like you can't excuse it. It was diabolical.
No, I haven't heard what Andrew said. I can imagine what he said. It would probably be like, it was a good experience, and we take the positives. But for me, it wasn't even about the young players. I actually thought Lancashire did okay. I don't think Gray's good enough. I don't think Bergval's good enough. But for me, it was the experienced players that I felt really let down by tonight. The likes of Maddison. I actually thought Basuma played quite well, but Maddison for me was a massive letdown. Sonny again, our captain, and this is the problem, isn't it? We haven't got any leaders out there, and Sonny for me shriveled and wasn't really in the game at all. So, what do you think, Charlie?
Sonny's not a captain. He's not a captain, is he? Can you imagine him like dragging a player across? Going, oh look, that's not good enough. Or we're under pressure against Galatasaray, getting all the boys together. Did you see it happen today once? No, of course you didn't. He's not a captain. You're right. We don't have any leaders. And again, Maddison was poor. You draw on that as Basuma was okay. I'm already going positive. I thought Basuma, he still gave the ball away like every single person on the team today. Bergval looked out of his depth, and so did Gray for a lot of the time. But I feel like you can expect that from a young team, especially when you go to somewhere like Galatasaray. But I forgot what I was going to say.
I do agree, but I also feel that Bergval's now had quite a few chances in the Europa League, and don't get me wrong, I know he's young, but so far I haven't. Pre-season, he looked okay. I thought he looked quite decent. Had a good pass in him. He just doesn't look like the player I thought he was. I don't know what you think, Dan, about Bergval.
He was just overrun, wasn't he? It was just so that Ange just set up that team so poorly, so naive, such naive management. And do you know what, guys? I can't sound surprised because this is what's been happening for our away form. That's our 5th away defeat this season so far. A continuation from last season. He's not learning. I don't understand it. I really don't. I know the whole thing is a lot of fans have been telling me it's a process thing. It's going to take time. And just sticking to the system. But you can't go away to places like Galatasaray and be so open and just let us get run ragged and bullied. Galatasaray, they have got some good players, and their tails were up. They were confident. They kept on attacking and attacking. We were so vulnerable. Our two centre backs had no pace. Dragerson and Davis were getting caught out all the time. Poor Archie Gray out of position on the left. He was getting in trouble. Porro wasn't great either. I don't think there was anybody. I know you mentioned Bazuma played all right. He was doing it. He had to do a lot of it in his own. So, and the forward line, you can't blame Lancashire. He's a young guy. He's a young kid. And Son, where was he? Son went missing. Johnson didn't see much other than setting up the goal. The whole thing was just an absolute embarrassment. And we're so lucky that it wasn't. It could have been 7 or 8. And Nigel, I don't know if you've got the stats of the game there to hand. I don't know if you can pull it up. They make for some interesting reading, let me tell you.
They had at least 10 shots off the target. I know that. Probably was more at the end.
Yeah, let me just get the thing up so we can talk about that, and I'll go and find the stats. So let's talk about one positive quickly, and that was Lancashire's equaliser. Lovely ball from Gray over to Johnson, who put a nice cross in. First time pass into Lancashire, who scored. Absolutely delighted for him. You know, he's a decent young player, puts himself about, and I think he deserved his goal. What do you think, Charlie? I'll go to first.
I was loving it. I was watching the game, and I went down to get some water, and I came back, and I heard the goal. I was like, oh my God, who scored? When I saw his Lancashire, everyone on the team, I was so happy he got the goal out of everyone, because especially for a young kid to get a goal in a game. I know he got sent off, but like you say, he's a young kid. He made a mistake, but it's good for him to get a goal. Hopefully, even though we got sent off, Ange will still give him game time in the Europa League, because this is probably one of the most difficult games we have in the Europa League. I know we play Rangers, 2 more crap teams. I can't remember their names. But I think who else do we play in the Europa League? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
What left to play?
Yeah,
we have Rangers.
Yeah,
I know we have. It's a good question. Let me just get it up.
We have Rangers, Hoffenheim,
got it.
Augsburg, and Roma.
Oh, actually, yeah, we have some tough games. Actually, I thought we had that Bucharesti team, but we don't. But I feel like what I was going to say is that even though we got sent off today, I still hope that Ange gives him game time, because I do think he's a very good player. He's good movement. He's always moving. Absolute headache for defenders. And I'm really glad he got his goal tonight. It's probably the only good thing about tonight. Apart from that, shocking all around. So, yeah.
What did you think, Dan?
Just ask that question again, Nigel.
Just on the equaliser.
Yeah, look, the equaliser. It was a good, lovely ball, wasn't it, from Gray? Pinged it beautifully out to Johnson. This is what we do. We score tap-ins. That's really our favourite goal, isn't it? Tap-ins.
Yeah. It's the way all our goals are like that, aren't they? Apart from SARS against Man City.
Yeah. Big up, Alex. Hope you're doing good, man. Terrible. Look, what you going to say about that, man? Oh, look, the goal was the goal. We take it, but what happened afterwards was,
Exactly. Yeah, let's get these stats up quickly.
Say nothing, Nige. It's nothing you can say. You can't. It's just crap. It's crap.
No, I know.
That's being nice, and that's being nice. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah. So I've literally just hunted the internet, and this is the only stats I can get. So Galatasaray had like 28 shots to Tottenham's 5. Big chances, Galatasaray 8 to Tottenham's 2. I actually don't think that's too bad. I thought it was more. But yeah, touching box 12, which kind of says it all, really.
Look, 8 big chances in a game is a lot. Yeah, normally you see 3, 2, 4, 8.
Yeah,
and the shots. Sorry, Nige.
So I was going to say it did feel like more though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and obviously there was 28 shots. I mean, we had 2 big chances. We had 5 shots. But look, that is an absolute. It's like we were San Marino tonight. That's the sort of, when you watch teams play San Marino, that's the level of shots they take. It was like, how can you describe it? Like maybe a Real Madrid versus a lower level European team. It was that bad. It was. I mean, what do you think of the changes at half time? Or Nigel, you're going to jump into that in a minute?
Yeah, I'll jump into that in a minute. Obviously, we'll get onto the performances as well of certain players in a bit as well. But the problem is the way we're defending, we can get away with it against some teams. But when you've got this man on the pitch, you know, you give him too many chances and he's going to take them after a while, isn't he? Osherman, 31 minutes and 39 minutes. 2 great finishes, literally takes the game away from Spurs.
Can I say something about him though?
Yeah,
he was really wasteful tonight. I don't think he was. He scored twice. I don't think he had that good of a game. You know, if he was on top level, he could have had 6, 5 or 6. I just wanted to say that. I do agree.
Chances
with what
as well.
It's good player, chances. But like, some of the chances he had, I was like, bloody hell! Like, you know, if he was on form, it could have been like 9 or 10 tonight, and that's just on his chances.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? But yeah, what did you make of Osimhen's performance, Dan?
Oh, look, he could have had a hat trick. Could have had 2 hat tricks. Yeah. How many goals did he get? What he got 2, right?
He got 2, yeah. 31 minutes and 39 minutes. But yeah, could have had 4 or 5 easily.
Yeah, and it's just because with this the high line, the centre backs not having any pace. It was just too easy for them, weren't it? I mean, I've seen Alex's comments about the referee. Yeah, what do you think about that, guys?
The referee.
I wasn't focused.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was great. But what do you think, Charlie?
I wasn't really focused on the ref. I was more just focused on, how poorly we were playing. I remember who was on commentary tonight.
I don't know.
They were just saying how it was funny how bad we were playing, and to be honest, it got to the point where it wasn't. I was getting less angry. I was more just trying to laugh because of how bad we were defending as a line. Keeping the ball, transitioning from defense to attack. It was all over the place. Everything was so bad, and we look back on this game when we lost 3-2. Because if we lost 3-2 against Galatasaray and it was an odd goal in it and we didn't play too badly, level on shots, it would be frustrating. But we just had to take on the chin. That was worrying. Very, very worrying. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? People will look, or fans will look at the score and be like, "Oh, we only lost 3-2. That wasn't bad." But the actual performance was as bad as it gets. Defensively, like I said, I thought Porro was awful. Davis had a bad game. I feel sorry for Gray, not his position. Dragishin, I'm starting to be concerned about him. I'm not sure he's the player that I thought he was. I think he's an awful defender. I think he gets caught out of position. I think he can't head a ball. It doesn't go anywhere when he heads it. There was 3 or 4 times when he had the chance to head it clear, or there was one when he had a chance to head it back to the keeper in the first half, and instead of just flicking it back, he headed it straight up in the air, and they nearly scored from it. I just think he's awful. I really do. I don't know what you think of him, Charlie.
I don't think he has no. He has no control over what he does. So I remember you were talking about on a last show we were doing, just me and you. We were talking about how he can't really pass. He's not very good on the ball in terms of dribbling, or he's not comfortable. He's leggy, and it's the same with his defending. Yeah, heading it out. I've never heard of it more true. When he heads it out, it's never straight out or to the side. It's always up or just up. He always just heads it up and then makes it even more of a challenge, and you try and nod it out. And when he did that, I was just head in my hand, just 50p head. Get the ball out or just clear it. Do the simples right. Do the simple things right. But he didn't do any of it
I think
tonight. And you're right.
no. In some ways, I feel sorry for him because he doesn't get a lot of game time, and that's what's always labelled, isn't it? Oh, he doesn't play enough. Give him a run of games, but he's had a few games now, and I know everyone was awful, but that is the worst I've seen Dragishin play. I just thought he looked so. I would have preferred Davison Sanchez in my team tonight than Dragishin. That's how bad I thought Dragishin was. I don't want to get on him because he's only 21, but
It is
man,
hard
you
to.
know,
It is hard to like. It's easy to forget. Sorry, that he's 21. He doesn't play like he's 21. He looks like he's 30. You know,
it just looks like he has no confidence. You know, maybe if he's, I don't know. And maybe Alex is right here. The midfield has to protect the defence, and giving the ball away doesn't help. I think everyone was giving the ball away tonight. I can't remember a game when I've seen Spurs give the ball away so much.
It was just weird. It was like they just forgot the fundamental basics of playing football. They just couldn't pick a pass to save their lives. It was so weird. And yeah, Alex is right in terms of the midfield protecting that there was no protection. Basuma,
No.
you know, like you said, he was the only one I thought which
Such a bad bunch.
Even he was best. Yeah, he was best to have a bad bunch. They just didn't have a clue.
Thought did okay when he come on.
Yeah, but I was expecting that fresh legs, and he's it still was a good. It was too little, too late. We'd already conceded 3 goals by then, and normally when you concede 3 goals, you lose the game. You know, if we would have got a draw or anything tonight.
So obviously we went in 3-1 down at half time. Disappointing first half. But I thought, you know what, we could come out second half and we can, do what we do, because there's every chance we can have a 10 minutes period when we can score a couple of goals because there's more than in us. We do it all the time at home. But we come out at the start of the second half and we were exactly within seconds, we'd given the ball away. And I think I counted in the first 60 seconds of the second half, we gave the ball away like 3 times. Like we'd get it. It was great. Like you say, it was quite funny to watch by the end. It was actually, yeah.
It got to the point where, like, if we equalised, I would have felt bad for Galatasaray. I genuinely would have felt bad. I would have been like, oh my God, I'm actually sorry, because we were that poor. And the fact that I still don't know how we only lost that 3-2. It generally boggles my brain. Like, there's been many games where we've battered teams and we've only won by 1 or we've drawn the game. But yeah, that's true. We cannot handle teams that press.
It's a big concern, isn't it? Because teams that press us, we just cannot handle it.
You were just terribly under pressure.
Yeah, I don't know what you think, Dan, about teams that press us high. We can't seem to handle it, can we?
But no, we can't handle much, can we? This team's weak. It's pathetic. Listen, I feel so like, do you know what I mean? Just fed up. Just like,
do you need a rant?
So boring. Do I need a rant? I don't even think I've got the energy for a rant. No, I don't think I even can be bothered, because I'm just sick of talking about how bad Ange is managing this team and the players as well not showing up. And it just takes a lot out of you, doesn't it? You know, we do this every week. Look, I thought we could lose today, of course, but to lose under the manner we did, this confirms what I've been saying. When I did that video on Monday, just totally or Tuesday, confirms what everything I've been saying is true. Ange's not learning. He's not changing things. He's letting it all go wrong. I don't understand it. None of it makes sense. People in the chat, Nige, Charlie, can you make sense of it? Because I can't.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it is Jekyll and Hyde. Because at home, we are at times brilliant to watch. You know, in patches at home, we are fantastic. And Ange makes changes early and things, everything seems to be lovely. And if we just played at home every week, Ange would be a magician. But as soon as we go away, it's like he can't do anything. I don't know what you think, Charlie.
The team forgets how to play football when they go away. It seems like it is. If we played Galatasaray at home, I reckon we would have beaten 4-1, 4-0. Got that much control at home. And Alex has something that made me laugh about the pinball machine that was today with the shots just going out and out and out. And you just never thought it would end, and it didn't end. And I feel like our away form is really concerning. Obviously, Dad, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I was being positive, being like, oh, it's fine, you know. But yeah, we haven't won away since Farron, or so you say that name.
We beat Man United away, didn't we?
Yeah, but Man United,
that's nothing to get excited about because they're a bit of a mess themselves. So look, let's read the comments here. I like this one from Alex. It says, I'm sure Levy told him to field a weakened team because the Premier League takes first preferences. Yeah, Ange is just a yes man, really, isn't he? He's going along with it all. He's probably right.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of more in here. Do you want to put up?
Can you not get them up, mate?
Okay. I can. Yeah. Johnson gets an assist and then goes to sleep for the rest of the game. Doesn't want to take on defenders because he just can't take on defenders. That's it. He just can't do it.
It's not his game, though, is it? It's not his game.
No, he's just a finisher. He's just in the box, getting on the end of something. Got a little bit of pace. Just offered very little tonight, other than the assist. And the next one here from Paul. Big up, Paul. Hope you're doing well, man. He's a one-trick pony. End of. Works for him at times, but most of the time we get caught out with it. Yeah, that's it. And he says, big up. Look, he's just, so it's Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? Like we heard this on Sky Sports at the weekend. What Spurs are we going to see today? Is it going to be that's the home thing, isn't it? At home, we don't have a problem. We seem to be up for it. But we go away from home and it just falls apart. Completely falls apart, and I just don't know what Ange is going to do. And do you know what our next away game is, guys? Do you know it?
Yeah,
City,
innit?
City away, yeah. And City, they're going through a bit of a difficult period themselves. What do you think of that game, guys? Do you think we got any chance? I know they're a bogey team. Do you know what I mean? We beat Man City a lot, so there could be a chance. But look, I'm just feeling fed up with it all. I'm just sick of it. And I just exhausted of what to say.
What do you think, Charlie? Do you think we got a chance against City?
Dan, I feel bad because
you're positive. I'm
going to be quite positive about this City game and say we can definitely get a result.
You say what you want, man. You think how you feel. If you still got the positive vibes, you do that, man. But for me, I haven't
been supporting the team long enough. That's probably why.
Yeah, maybe. But no, you know, it's how you feel, man. I just feel I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, no, the home form's brilliant. The away form needs to change quickly. I'm sick of that as well. It's always that dread of every single away game we think, we're going to get a result, even if they're a poor team. I do feel like we can get a result against City. I think it's a game of we either get absolutely blown away, like 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, or we nick a result. I don't think there's any in between. I feel like we either win 1-0 or 2-1. We'll definitely concede. We're not keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Or we get battered. And I can see both. And do you guys feel like Ange will be under pressure if he loses that Man City game? Because if he loses that Man City game, we could be 5 points off the top four. No.
Then the funny thing all about it is that if we win on Sunday and Arsenal and Chelsea draw, we could move up to like in the top four, which is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only
because
the
thing. Ange's.
Sorry, Nudge.
Yeah, it's all right, mate. I'm just going to win enough home games to keep him in a job. And like I say, it's a difficult one because the last couple of games, I've been like, okay, maybe Ange has changed, maybe this. And listen, tonight was always going to be a difficult game, and I said in the video earlier, tonight's not a biggie. I'm not going to get too emotionally involved. If we lose, we lose. But playing like we
The
did,
manner,
it
isn't
is a
it? Guys, it's
concern.
the manner how we lost. It's the manner of it.
Yeah. So let's
get to the comments.
Let's go on to the Lancashire red card. Do you think it was a valid red card? Was it harsh? What do you think, Charlie?
I think it was valid. I feel like at the time, you can see it's harsh, but it's because of his reaction, how he lost the ball and then went straight into another tackle, and that looked completely out of control. Obviously, people do it all the time, but it's the. I feel like if he didn't lose the ball and then just did that tackle, he probably would have got away with it. But because he lost the ball, got frustrated, and then just something up.
He knew, didn't he? You could see by his face.
His face. I don't think it's hard. I think it was the right decision. And to be honest, the red card didn't really change much. We ended up scoring after, and we nearly scored at the end because of Kulusevski. But
we wouldn't have deserved it.
Yeah. No, not though.
No. That wouldn't have been justified. But obviously, you would have taken it. But
yeah,
I don't know how the score was only 3 against us. But yeah,
it's crazy.
It is what it is.
Was it a definite red for you, Dan?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Second yellow.
A little bit harsh, but
pretty straightforward.
It is what it is, and it really we were done. Even before that sending off, we were getting battered. It didn't change much. It was,
Weirdly though, when Lancashire got sent off, and I don't know whether then Galatasaray maybe took their foot off the pedal because they thought the game's done. Spurs actually looked slightly better. They looked like they created a few chances, and obviously Solanke scored. It's a nice finish, wasn't it? His goal, something to cheer about. It was a good finish.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's an instinctive finisher. I think Solanke. He's much better when he has no time. He can just, sort of Bournemouth so many times. He did a couple of those little I know it wasn't the same drag back finish, but he did a couple of them Bournemouth. And I think he's great at that. Again, positive. And Alex is right. We played better with 10 men. We played way better with 10 men. And I think you're right, Dad, just because they took their foot off the gas a bit. So
it did, and that's what we're like. When we're not under pressure, we can play around, get back in it. But as soon as we're under pressure, from any pressing, attacking movement, getting in behind that high line, we just don't know what we're doing. And it doesn't help without having Van der Ven the pace there, and obviously a natural left back in Udogie. You didn't have Vicario sweeping up as well. So even so, man, it's just crap.
Yeah, so it's all a little bit depressing, isn't it? But I think you're right. I think they stopped pressing. I think that was the thing, Dan. They stopped actually pressing us once we went down to 10 men, and we had a bit more time on the ball. Mm-hmm. So let's go to some positives and negatives. We'll ignore the positives for the moment. Let's go to the negatives because there's loads of them. So, Dan, what's the biggest negative for you? Was it Ange? Was it tactics, or was it some of the players' performances? Or all of it?
It was all of it, wasn't it? But for me, it's always goes to the manager. He's in charge. He's the one who sets the team out. He's the one who's going to make in-game decisions, tactical adjustments. Subs. It all ends on his head first of all. So if we're talking about negatives, I'm covering Ange. And then maybe you guys can cover another part of it. But for me, this is an Ange. He's not learning. It's embarrassing. His European, European experiences obviously hasn't got a lot. I know he managed in the Champions League with Celtic, but it's so naive, and it's just not good enough. And I mean, what else can I say? It's just the same old, isn't it? The away form. Not learning, not changing anything. The whole team, I've said it. I mean, I've said it quite for a lot throughout the stream so far. And I don't know what else I can say. So, guys, over to you. What were your negatives? That'd be interesting to hear.
Charlie, what was your negative, mate?
Definitely biggest negative was the performance, how we handled it. I feel like we just didn't turn up, weren't a team, didn't play as a team, no sort of fluidity in attack or defense, no transitional play, just all over the place, and completely buckled under a hostile. Sorry, I was trying to.
At least we got these little jokes coming in to cheer us up because we're all so fed up.
But no, I thought, where's he gone?
I don't know. But no, Charlie, what you're saying is that you're disappointed. The negative was just the general performance, yeah.
Yeah, general performance was so poor. I felt like, like I say, they just didn't turn up, and I feel like in a game like today, where you're at a hostile ground, hostile atmosphere, and Galatasaray do have a good team. They have some good players up top. You have to turn up, and the performance was so poor that honestly, if we lost, like I say, 6, 7, 8, no one would have complained. Everyone thought that would be a fair result, and that's the most worrying part. So we're lucky we only lost 3-2 because it doesn't look as bad. Sorry, go on, Dad. I'm talking about the performance.
Negatives for me. I've already mentioned Dragishin. Awful. And like I said, that performance alone has made me concerned that maybe he's not the answer going forward. I know it's one game, but I think he really got shown up tonight. I thought Porro let us down. I thought Madison let us down as our, one of the captains in the squad. I thought he was terrible. Sonny, I've already mentioned, was awful. I just think, the manager has to take some blame, absolutely, for tactics. But sometimes we need the players to stand up and be counted. And this is my concern, that we have not got any leaders in this team. No one is going to pull their socks up and say, we ain't getting beat today, boys. I didn't see anybody chucking themselves in the way of shots. If you were to go back and look at all of Galatasaray's shots, I bet you don't see anyone chucking themselves in the way. They might stick a leg out, but nobody's putting their body on the line. And for me, that's the biggest thing. There was 2,500 Spurs fans out there that paid all that money to go to Turkey to watch that. And I think the players have really let them down, personally.
Yeah. But Nigel, Ange keeps saying this, doesn't he? Ange keeps saying this. Look, the players have got to find their own kind of leadership and learn on the job sort of thing. And when they're in difficult moments, they need to get themselves out of that. And they're just not doing it, are they? And then Ange is just letting them do it. And it's just failing time and time again. So I don't know what other solutions are really. This is just going to continue throughout the season. Win, loss, win, maybe loss, a draw. It's so inconsistent. And as I said many a times, my hopes are in the cups. They still are. We're still in them. There is a chance. League, I can't see us staying consistently up there. We'll be up and down, moving positions, depending on who we're playing. The January transfer window will come. There's not any kind of information that we're going to sign anybody decent anyway. I haven't heard that any money's going to be spent, so we can't even look at that as a bit of hope. So it is what it is.
It's. I think we got to try and be a little positive, and in the fact that it is our first defeat in Europa League, and you're absolutely right, Mark. It's not going to take long. It is our first defeat in Europa League. We've got plenty of games. We're still in a good position to qualify. We all kind of knew we would probably lose tonight. Obviously, the manner is not good. Is there any positives you guys can take out of it?
Yeah. Sorry. Lancashire getting a goal was definitely a positive. That's the biggest.
I think Lancashire getting a goal.
Yeah. That's about the only other one. Got two.
But yeah, I mean, there is a positive, yeah, that we never lost 10-2.
It's very good.
It
Very
could
good
have been.
point, yeah. It should
At
have
one
been.
stage in that first half, I did think that was going to happen.
Have you seen?
I don't know.
Have you seen on Instagram before the game all the Galatasaray fans in the comments of the Spurs page before the game? They were like, "You're gonna have no mercy. Welcome to hell," sort of thing. I was like, "Oh God, mighty Galatasaray." But you know what? Fair play, because you know. But then, yeah. Have you guys not seen that?
No, but we knew what we were in for.
As soon as the
No, I
whistle
knew what we
started,
were
we had, as soon as we had the ball, they were whistling, weren't they? Trying to put them
Yeah.
off. But look,
Assassin goes on.
it's not an excuse for me. It's not an excuse. There's enough experience in that
Exactly.
side to get through those moments. That we're probably man to man, we're a better team than Galatasaray, and we just didn't show up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's all it's all about the players for me, just not turning up. Like I say, quite happily take a defeat. I thought we'd lose before the game, but to go out and play that poorly for most of the game, 90% of the game, I thought we did okay with about 10%. But like you say, that's when Galatasaray taking their foot off the gas made us look good. Yeah, it was a bit of a shocker. Has anyone got anything else to add while I disappear for 2 seconds?
Yeah, can we just talk about this comment here from Paul? After watching the game tonight, my other worry is that if Vicario gets injured, we are in trouble with Foster in goal. What do you think, Charlie?
No, yeah, he's got a point, because I felt like, shot stopping, he made some good saves, but I remember that catch he made midway through the first half, or was it second half? I can't remember, but he tried to collect the ball, dropped it, very nearly conceded. He doesn't look comfortable collecting crosses, and shot stopping, he's okay, but you'd expect a keeper to be good at shot stopping. And
yeah,
Paul's right. If Vicario gets injured and Foster's our main keeper, you're going to see more mistakes like that more and more often. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't him in goal, we couldn't have conceded more today. He did make some good saves, so I do give him the benefit of the doubt in a way. What about you? What do you think?
yeah, I wouldn't play him. I'd play one of the other younger keepers. You might as well. We need to see what they can give.
Actually, I don't know what else we got.
Yeah, well, we have other goalies we could play. Let's read some other comments out. We got when kids are on your bench, it's your owners are the problem. Yeah, we know this. Transfer window was a failure for me. I don't know if you guys agree. I know Nige does, but Charlie, did you think that transfer window was a bit of a letdown?
I used to be quite positive about it before the start of the season. I wanted to wait until all the players played, because you never know. Archie Gray might have started a Premier League game and scored, But yeah, it's definitely a failure. Most of the signings we made, if not all of them, are young players who are not guaranteed starters, and it doesn't even make our squad depth that much better, because, these players, like I said, some of these players are injured. Odebear's injured. Gray never starts and is out of his depth when he doesn't play in his position. Bergval's out of his depth most of the time. And yeah, when you got Lancashire and Mikey Moore are our impact subs most of the time. If you think about it, think of who's going to bring off the bench. Oh, bring on Mikey Moore, bring on Lancashire. It's right. It's worrying when we got to turn to a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old who we've just brought up from the academy as our impact subs. And I know Mike and I wasn't on the bench today, but I feel like I'm speaking about the whole season. That has been true.
Johnny, do these players ever turn up when there's a bit of pressure?
All I'm going to say is don't bring the last one.
What's that?
Don't bring the last comment up. No, they don't. They don't turn up when there's a bit of pressure, do they? That's the problem. As soon as we're up against it, especially away from home, as soon as we get pressed, we crumble, and we are just not very good. Like I said before, home never an issue. I think we'll win 90% of our home games, but as soon as we go somewhere away, I'm never confident at all. But
Shall we look at what Ange is saying?
I haven't seen anything that Ange has said yet.
Let me get it up. Let me get it up and see what excuses he's coming out with tonight. That would be a bit of fun, won't it, guys? Bit of fun.
Gray and Bergvall just don't look calm on the ball. No, I agree. And they haven't adapted to the speed of the game at this level. I totally agree with that, especially Bergvall. Don't know what you think, Charlie.
Yeah, no, Gray and Bergvall today, they looked very, very agitated whenever they got the ball. It was like hot potato. They didn't want it. They didn't really show for it. No young player we've signed looks like they're going to take a game by the scruff of the neck, especially away from home. And those two are the same. Poor again. But you can't put all the blame on them. I feel like more blame has to go to the senior players.
I think the senior players deserve more of the blame.
100%.
Because they should be the ones standing up, looking after the younger players.
But we don't have anyone like that, so no one can. It's true.
Whereas Maddison, Maddison's our vice captain. He was out there. All he did is slip around and keep giving the ball away.
Yeah. He's not a leader. Nor a son.
No.
We don't, like I said, we don't have any leaders.
No. Guys, should we go on to the comments from the manager?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
And then we can wrap it up. If that's all right with you guys. What did you make of your team's performance? So this is what he says. Obviously, disappointing result. First half wasn't great. We just didn't handle things well at all, particularly with the ball. Just really wasteful and gave it away too many times. That allowed them to get a foothold in areas they're good at. They got some good players in the front third, and we just allowed that to happen. And ultimately paid the price for it, because I thought, we always finish strongly, and I knew we would in the second half. Obviously, going to 10 men didn't help, but even with 10 men, I thought we probably played the best football we did all game and got our second goal. Had some opportunities to get a third there, but I thought we were looking the better side. It's a disappointing outcome. Unfortunately, brought on by a disappointing first half. Like, guys, look at that. What'd you make of that, man? It's just a load of rubbish, isn't it? A load of waffle.
Yeah. Go on, Charlie. What do you think?
Doesn't like to take responsibility, does he?
No.
At the best of times.
Good point. Good point. He doesn't.
I feel like, sorry, I was going to add, I feel like he took responsibility more at the start when he started managing. I remember when we lost to Chelsea, he took a lot of responsibility for that result. But then today, swept under the rug. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. Dad, what do you think?
Very much the same. I think he is quite. I think he changes his tact week to week, doesn't he? 1 week he backs the players, the next week he tends to chuck them under the bus a bit. And this is what he does when he loses. Like I say, when Ange is winning, it's great. He comes up with his little quibs and he's funny. But a couple of defeats and he gets narky. The comments don't surprise me. It's all a bit of deflection, really, isn't it?
It is. It's not taking any responsibility for me. It's not good enough. So the next question is: this is your first loss in the Europa League. Did you expect Galatasaray to play like this? He said, we expected a tough game here. Obviously, they have been in good form all year and undefeated at home. And I thought the game was as expected. They have some dangerous players and you need to control the game with the ball better than we did tonight. I think that first half ultimately cost us the game and disappointing for us. Galatasaray are a good side. We know that they're in a good position in the Europa League, as we are. Hopefully that continues. It's just so boring, isn't it? It's just so uninteresting what he's saying. It's just reading off a script, isn't he?
Yeah, he didn't say anything that none of us would say. Obviously Galatasaray are a good side, and especially a good side at home. And of course, they're going to cause you problems. And of course, you've got to use the ball better, because we didn't use the ball well at all. But for me, it would have been great if he had said, you know what, we started the first 10 minutes really poorly. We're giving the ball away a lot. So I decided as the manager that I was going to get the team to play a little bit more direct, hit the ball into the flanks, try and turn them a little bit maybe now and again, because they played quite a high line as well, didn't they? Instead of just trying to play it out from the back, which clearly wasn't working. And
We didn't have to call it on the ball, nice, did we? We didn't have to call it on the ball. We had nobody there. Alex made a comment early on in the chat about having we don't have a Paul Scholes type player. We don't have any dictator in that midfield who can control the game, dictate play. We just don't have it. We don't. All we do is play that same old ball across the box, tap-ins. We're just so predictable, aren't we? We just play one way and one way only. Inverted fullbacks, high line. It's just so easy to play against anybody half decent. They just work us out straight away. Sorry, Nigel, interrupted you there. Did you?
No, that's all right. I think this is that's my only problem with Ange is that as a manager, you should be able to see what's going on the pitch. And I get that when he's installing a philosophy into a team in his first season, he wants to play it a certain way. But this has been 18 months now. The players should know how to play the game. They should know his style now. So if it's not working, then surely as a manager, you've got to say, okay, this isn't working. 10 minutes in, let's change it. I don't know if you can remember Mourinho in a Champions League game. I think we're 2-0 down to, I can't remember, a German side. And he hauled Dyer off after like 30 minutes.
It was against, was it Olympiacos?
Olympiacos,
yeah, we end up coming back and winning the game. And that's what a proper manager does. If he sees it's not working, change it. That's my only concern, like I say. And it always seems to be away from home. We did it against Palace. Palace were pressing us. We couldn't play out. We end up getting beat. And it's exactly the same tonight. Pressed high, couldn't get out. And that's for me when he should change it and say, okay, let's hit the ball long for 10 minutes. Not every ball, but, let's mix it up a little bit so they don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what you think, Charlie.
Exactly, yeah. Because you mentioned this up to the Palace game, how we're so predictable and we play it out. That when we always play out from the back, or if we always go direct, they can set up to defend either one quite quickly. Whereas if you mix it up, then obviously it's a lot more difficult. I agree as well, because it happened against Palace where obviously, they kept on pressing us because we kept on faffing around at the back. And then same thing again today. We were being far too intricate at the back, just boot it along, And when we were direct, we did get, we got the goal from being direct. And then, but again, you're right, we have to mix it up. We can't do the same thing every time, otherwise we become predictable, like Dan said. And when we're predictable, we're so easy to play against. So easy, especially away from home. And Ange won't change anything because he's a stubborn man.
Look, there's another interesting comment here.
Okay,
so they asked Ange, why did you struggle to control the game in the first half? Did the atmosphere play a part, or was it that part of the risk when you make so many changes, or were Galatasaray too good? So this is what he says. He says, I don't think so. It was probably a combination of all those things. I just felt it was self-inflicted. We had a real simple solution out there to keep the ball. As we showed with 10 men, it wasn't that difficult to do. We just didn't. Individuals within needed that to be stronger on the ball and make sure we played the kind of football we tried to do each week. And we didn't do that. Maybe it was a little bit of the changes I made and the environment of the atmosphere, or whatever you want to call it, the opposition. The moments that stick out to me are when there's no pressure on us and we were still giving the ball away. I think we need to be better in those moments, because if we are better in those moments, then you minimise the threat the opposition has, but also we get a foothold in the game in the areas we want to. We did it with 10 men. We were playing through them quite easily with 10 men, but with 11, we just didn't have anywhere near the conviction we needed. So it's disappointing. And that was really his last comment of that press conference. Now, so What do you think he's saying, guys? Like, what do you think of that?
Go on, Dad, you go. I'm still trying to unpick that.
Okay.
Would you want me to go?
Is it more waffle again? Is it more waffle?
No, I feel like it's more waffle. Yeah, I feel like it's all in hindsight, isn't it? All the stuff he says, it's all good saying, you know, we should have more conviction. Well, where's it in the game? He said the same thing as Palace, well, similar anyway. Why don't we show enough away from home? Why don't we show enough conviction going forward? And why did we wait until we went down to 10 men to finally go, all right, let's actually play, you know, let's get at their back line, because their back line isn't that good. They play in the Turkish league, you know, like should have been there for the taking, but we didn't.
The only thing I will say to stick up for Ange slightly is the fact that these players can do it at home. We can play out from the back at home. We can do this kind of thing, and we do get pressed at home. Not all the time. Not a lot of teams do sit back, but he is right. The players, you know, were not good enough at playing out from the back. You know,
but who's that on,
they
Nige?
should be.
Who is that on?
I think both have got to take responsibility. I think, you know, you blame Ange for it, and like I said earlier, that's when Ange should change it slightly and say. But again, that's where you need a leader on the pitch. You know, grabbing people by the scruff of the neck and say, "Come on, sort it out." I just don't think we got that. I think it's almost like, you know, one player gives the ball away, and then suddenly the rest of the team are like, "Oh, I don't want the ball just in case I give it away." And it's like it transfers, you know. One player makes a mistake and then everyone else panics on the ball as well.
Yeah.
And I think the players have got to take responsibility too. Don't get me wrong. Ange's tactics, not great. I think he should change it up a little bit. But for me, I'm really disappointed with the players tonight. Really disappointed.
Yeah.
Did you want to add anything, Charlie? Or should we move on to some of the comments?
No, move on to the comments. No, because it's just too depressing to keep talking about, you know.
So Alex says they don't do enough tight situation pass and move drills in training. The coaching looks like it's for under 16s levels, to be honest. It does, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Hard to argue that today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, look, we just don't know what we're doing away from home, do we? Just don't know how to play.
No.
Then we have a comment from Draven. Hello, Draven. Hope all is well with you. Ange got it right in the second half. If we had a bit more composure, we could have won it. Don't know second half. Galatasaray was knackered. If we had 11 men, I believe we would have at least got, I guess you're saying a draw. Yeah, you've got a draw. I don't know what game you watched, Draven. I think you watched a different match to us. I didn't see it like that at all. I can't excuse it at all. It's just not good enough. It was a terrible display. Terrible. Anyone else want to add on to that, or should we go to the next comment?
No, I get it. We were terrible. I think a lot of the second half was due to the fact that Galatasaray took their foot off the gas a little bit once we went down to 10 men.
That part was right.
We could have snatched a draw, but we didn't deserve it.
No,
we didn't. Alex, most of the training videos just show something like 5-a-side target practice. It's so childish. It's beggars belief that he gets away with it. This as a coach. Look, Ange, for me, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I just each week passes by, he just continues to just do the same thing. It's just, as I said a bit earlier, it's just so boring. So boring. Anyone want to add on to that one?
Guys, I am going to have to go. So I'm going to leave you to it. All right.
Okay, buddy.
Nice to meet you, Charlie, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Dan.
Yeah, it's great to meet you. And I'm sure we'll be on with you again at some point throughout the year.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, you too. Cheers, Dan. I'll see you soon. All right. Love you.
See you later,
son. Love you. Right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Alex, the team simply panic under pressure situation, and that's when we lose the ball. Yeah, this is it. This is what we've been saying. Go through some more. Ange doesn't know what he's doing. He's just winging it, in my opinion. Didn't someone call him a PE teacher once? Remember that one, Nigel?
Possibly.
Yeah. When teams allow us to have the ball, that's it. But when teams press us, we fold so easily. That's it, and that's kind of explains the home and away form, doesn't it? Totally. It won't be long until a team comes to our ground and actually puts us to bed, isn't it? It can't keep going on. I mean, who's the next game we got at home? The biggest kind of fixture, Nige, coming up in our ground.
I don't know. Obviously, we've got Ipswich at the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to just grab the fixtures up, mate, and just have a look. Let's have a look.
We've got a bit of a tough running coming, but yeah, I don't know.
So we got Roma at home in the what's it called, the Europa League, on the 28th of November. We've got Fulham coming to Spurs on the 1st of December. I'm just talking about the home games. And we've got Chelsea. So that's the game really for me. 8th of December. Probably, what is it? Looks like a Sunday fixture. 4:30. Yeah. Super Sunday. That's, and Chelsea, I don't know about Chelsea. I mean, they dropped off a little lately.
Mess, aren't they?
Huh? Yeah, they're doing better than last season. They're higher up in the league. They're not convincing to me. That's the game where, are Chelsea going to come and park the bus at our ground? I don't think they will. I think they will press us. They've got some good forward plays. Whatever you think of Chelsea, and they are a bit of a mess, but they will definitely give us a challenge. So look, that will be the biggest game. Even Fulham might do it, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. Fulham are tactically clever at times as well. Silva, they can get some results. More at home, I would say, with Fulham, but that could be a test. Anything else you want to say on that, Nige? Should we move to the next one?
No, I totally agree.
Draven, we were awful in that first half and the first 10 minutes of the second half. But after that, we controlled the game. Well, that's your view, Draven. I just think I was so annoyed by it all. I just probably didn't take much notice.
But even though we controlled, they still had good chances after that, didn't they? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, they did. They did. There was chance after chance. 28 shots against us. 8 big chances. It was unbelievably poor performance. You know what, Nigel, going through these questions still? Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, go for it, mate.
Alex says players trying to end the game with good passing stats, which causes a lot of sideways, backwards passing. Yeah, we do a lot of that, don't we? Passing for passing's sake. Think that, Nigel?
Yeah, no, yeah, I think we're better at home. But yeah, we are a possession side for the most part, so we do pass the ball around a lot at the back. But like I say, lately we have been better. We are more clinical. When we get our chances, we take them. And even tonight, we only had 3 chances and we scored 2. So, going forward, we are clinical. But yeah, tonight's one to forget, I think.
Next one. Draven, they didn't take their foot off the gas. They were knackered after that intense first half. It'll be a different game at home, I believe. Well, Draven, it's not like that in this Europa League league table format. It's not like a return leg. So we play 7 different teams. Is that right, Nige? Is it 7 different teams? 8 different teams?
7, yeah. 7 or 8.
8, yes. We have 8 games, 4 away, 4 at home. So every team is different depending on away and home. So it's a little bit different format. So if we do qualify, which I do still think we will, we may come across Galatasaray again in the knockout stages, and that will be a home and away leg.
Yeah.
And you would have hoped that when we play them again, that would play a better side.
You would hope.
You hope. Levy's meddling again, as Alex said earlier. Liverpool are far better at passing under the pressure than us. They are much better defensively under Slot. Yeah, they are. Slot is showing that he is a good manager so far, setting up that Liverpool team in a composed way. Not so like fast forward chaos like under Klopp, but they're getting results. They're not conceding many goals. They've got the best defence in the league, Liverpool. They're clinical. they're doing everything right.
Exactly.
Back to Draven. You didn't expect to go there and win, did you? We had our second team playing against their first team. I'd like to argue that point, Draven. Nige, you can take it first, though.
No, I absolutely didn't go down and expect her to win. Expect us to win. If I've been saying all week, I think we'll probably lose. Like I say, defeat was not a problem tonight. I expected defeat. It's the manner of the way we played. It's not even the manner. It's the way we played. I was disappointed in. Not the fact that we lost the game, because a lot of teams will go to Galatasaray and lose. It's the way we played, and the fact that, and not even about the young players, the fact that the experienced players for me didn't stand up. And this is everything that I hate about Spurs, is the fact that when we get big games, big players, our most important players, never seem to turn up. So yeah, not about the defeat. I expected a loss, and that's not being negative. I'm not being negative about the defeat. It's just I expected more from our senior players. Don't know what you think, Dan.
I agree. Totally agree, Nige. Because, it was a game that we could have lost. I thought we may lose because we weren't going with our first team. But we had first teamers in there, Nige, and they could have taken responsibility on the pitch. They could have. And they didn't. I do think probably the most of it is blamed on Ange and how he's setting us up. So naive. So naive with the high line, that very light midfield. He should have put another more defensively minded midfielder in there to give us a bit more strength, because Galatasaray were playing well. You have to give Galatasaray credit, don't we, Nige? Because they really played well. They really took the game to us and confident, playing in front of their home fans. Next one. Have we got any more? Alex says,
got a couple more.
Alex says the frustrating thing is when you want to turn off the TV, but you just can't. Look, I'm sure many a fan tonight had enough and thought, look, what else can we do tonight? Is there a nice little movie on? Is there a nice show we can watch? Because that was absolutely rubbish. Load of rubbish. And Draven again, less of the negativity. Sorry, man. We like to call it critique.
Critiquing, yes.
Yeah, critique, Draven. It's called being realistic and saying it how it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but fair enough, Draven. If you want to hear some positivity, probably jump onto another show. I won't name.
Last word on Spurs will be on.
Last word on Spurs. I'm sure they'll have some positivity down there tonight. No, that's a bit naughty, Nige. Matty, how you doing, buddy?
Matty.
I hope you cheered up after that. Shit show there against Galatasaray. How are you, man? Give us your thoughts on it all. Back to Draven. I'm saying it would have been a different story at home. What would you be saying if we didn't have a man sent off and we snatched it? Would you still be saying the same? Yeah, I would. Yes. Sorry, Draven. It was atrocious. Look at the stats. Look at the performances. Yes. Look how we're just getting completely overrun. Sorry, Draven. I don't agree with what you're saying. And if we were at home, it may have been a different game, because playing behind our home with having a home crowd there, it still would have been a tough game, because I think Galatasaray have got some good players. Manager sets them up very positively.
Yeah,
and that's it in the chat.
It is. More? Listen, for me, just to answer the Draven quickly, it's not even saying it would have been a different story at home. And if we got a 3-3 draw, that would have been amazing. We would have been chuffed to bits. But let's be realistic. We didn't deserve anything out of that game, and that's okay. That's okay. We're not going to win every game. We're going to lose games. So, when we come onto YouTube and we do a stream after we've lost, we've got to talk about the negatives, because most of the time when you lose, there are a lot of negatives. Just like when we win and we come onto a stream, we do positives. This is the trouble with YouTube, isn't it, mate? You've got to speak the truth. And the truth is, we just weren't good enough tonight. Simple as that.
It is. And it's our opinions. like the show we did the other night, Nige, we bigged the team up massively. All of us, me, you, and Harry. It was a lot more positive to talk about the team, about Ange, about performances, because we did play well, and we said it how it is. Look, there is the bigger picture, which we will always go back to with Ange in charge in the board and the issues there. So look, we're in YouTube. This is what we're doing. That's why we're here now. Get involved. So Jobin says, F the stats, they don't mean anything. Stats to me do have their place, but for me, the eye test, I don't know about you, Nige, normally tells you a lot more than stats.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it is what it is. We lost the game at the end of the day, so that's the biggest stat, isn't it?
And Jay Ashraf, good evening. Hope you're well. Just read out your comment. I'm really concerned that when we play in the knockout rounds away from home, I have no faith in Ange setting up a team to handle some of these European sides, especially those with clever managers. Look, Ashraf, this is what I'm really worried about. I've said that on my video the other day. I am massively concerned when we do get to crunch time, when we get to those key moments. And Ange it's a big European tie against a decent European team. And away from home is the massive concern. But even at home, I think we could get out tacticked as well. So, yeah, very good point. Nigel, anything to add to what he said?
I agree to an extent, but I also think as we go further into the tournament, into the knockout stage, we are going to be playing a stronger team. Yeah, we are going to be playing a stronger team. So, I'd expect us to perform better. Obviously, that's not a guarantee. And yeah, there are some good European sides who have clever managers. But I wouldn't expect another performance like tonight with a better side that we put out. But yeah, we'll see. Alex says our defence was like a dartboard at the end of the game. We had so many players in it. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Raven, what about the positives? Win or lose, there always seems to be more negatives. Positives for me, and I've already said it. I don't know whether you were in it earlier, but Will Lancashire scored his first goal for Spurs. That was really good. I thought the fact he got sent off was harsh. I think it was 2 yellows, but at least he showed some passion. But listen, we got absolute pasting out there. I know the score says 3-2, but we got battered for the most part. So there aren't many positives to take. Like I said, if you've seen the show over the last couple of games, we've been very positive and very complimentary. And I'm sure when we win at the weekend on Sunday, we'll be positive again. But we've got to highlight the game. And because that's what's just happened. And sadly, there are more negatives than positives. And I hate saying that because I'd love us to have won and us to be happy. Anyway.
That was
Alex, yeah, he's a negative one.
We know Alex, he will always say how it is. He's never gonna change. I mean, Alex, I don't think I can remember you saying. I know you like Maddison. I can't remember you saying much positive stuff. You missed the stream, didn't you, man? I don't think you were in the stream the other day because there was a lot of positive stuff discussed in that one. But yeah, I'm sure you will say some positive stuff if you see it.
Yeah.
It's not just our defenders, it's our midfielders losing the ball and our wingers can't beat their man enough to affect the game in our favour. Yeah, definitely. Wingers for me are not good enough. And I keep banging on about it. We haven't signed any one-on-one specialists. The positive for me was the final whistle and the ref swapping jerseys with the Galatasaray. Yeah, that's funny, man. Funny.
Yeah, all right.
And Draven, he was replying to you, Nigel. I hope so. A bit earlier when you said.
Yeah.
And I hope we do win the weekend because I'm going. Yes. Well, enjoy it.
Nice.
Enjoy the match, Draven.
Yeah, take lots of photos. Drink lots of beer.
Go and buy a Spurs shirt. with that 200 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, well, our white home kit looks smashing. Is that positive enough? Yeah, that is. It does look smashing. Well, I love the white kit. I love the white kit. Yeah. It's just wish we had a team that we could feel proud of that wears it, isn't it, Alex and Nige and whoever else is watching? Wouldn't it be nice? You know, remember the Harry Redknapp days, those Champions League matches?
They were great days, weren't they?
They were great. And Harry Redknapp, he just kept it simple, didn't he? He put players in their right positions. There weren't a lot of tactical setup. It was just you just go and play. And blimey, didn't they play? And they gave us some fantastic memories. And Pochettino as well, of course.
Yeah.
And this is what it's getting to, Nige, now, because that game is so rubbish. We're reminiscing on the old days when we used to be good, because when we think about Spurs right now, they're so inconsistent, up and down. You just don't know where you're at with it. Yo-yo club, yo-yo performances and results. And then you think back about the old days and it just makes you smile, doesn't it, Nige?
It does. It does. And I think for me, that's the depressing thing about now. Listen, like I say, I love the way we play at home. It excites me. But I'm just not in love with the players. The players don't, there's a couple of players on there that I like. Whereas in the Poch days, in the Harry Redknapp days, I loved all the players, but it is what it is.
Nicola, hello, Nicola. Hope you're well. What did you think of the game tonight? You got over it now, and your comment is we should be beating Ipswich comfortably, no excuses. Yeah, 100%. That's a must. Yeah. We were talking about it the other day, Nicola, and it's it's one of those games throughout the season where it's a gimme. Ipswich at home, newly promoted team. They're a team that likes to press. They're a team that likes to attack. I don't think they're going to change up because they're playing Spurs, and it should be a comfortable victory. And then we have Draven. Oh, Harry, those were the days. Now we're talking. Yeah, great times. And even when we think back at Harry Redknapp, he wasn't backed either, was he? He was quite close, challenging for the title one season where he just needed supporting with a couple of top players to really push us on, and Levy let him down.
He did.
At least Poch had a setup defensively solid. There's no defense with Ange. It's bullshit. Yeah, this is it. And Ange has said it early on in the press conferences, maybe a month or two ago. He just says, look, he doesn't have a focus on the defense. He wants to outscore teams. He wants to entertain. He wants to play attacking football. He won't change the way he's playing, whoever he's playing. And it's just so naive. We're just not good enough. We haven't got top players in every position to pull it off. And this is why he continues to stick to his guns. And I just don't know what else to say about it, Nige. Anything you want to add to that?
This is why, for me, he is doomed to foul. And I think, like you say, great, the way he plays, great, but he hasn't got the players there to do it. But apparently they're his players. They're the players that he brought in. But they're clearly not good enough to play this system, especially away from home. At home, yes. And that's a concern. So, yeah, I don't see it, bearing fruit and bringing trophies unless we're very lucky. But, listen, I'm just in a depressive mood because we lost tonight. I'll be fine.
You haven't been too bad, Nige. You've been better than me. I've perked up a little bit now, reminiscing of the old days. I mean, look, I won't forget what the result, and I'll be back on the show at the weekend, having to discuss it, and I'm going to just have to raise my game, and get ready for some debate with some other Spurs YouTubers. So yeah, I'll be ready for it by Sunday. How many other questions have we got here? Where are we? I've lost track. Nicola, Nicola says, no, we've done that one for Nicola. I think she's put another comment up here.
We are down here, I think, mate. That's it.
It was absolutely embarrassing tonight. How we didn't concede 10 goals tonight, I will never know. Exactly. It could have been an absolutely tear up, really, couldn't it? I think I skipped a couple. No, we've done that one. Alex says the manager is averaging a team with too many average players. Yeah, it's true. Overall, it is average players. We sign average players. Like we said the other day, Nige, we got rid of the deadwood and we brought in another load of deadwood. On the whole,
basically, and like Nicholas said, players need to go out on loan.
What is that? The next one. Hold on, I'll catch up here. Gray and Burville need to go out on loan in January, bringing senior players in because we need strength and depth. Exactly. If we were manager, that's what we would be doing. We'll be demanding the board to sign top ready now players so that we can progress this season. And Ange, the reasons why he doesn't stand up to the board, or like how he said this on the show the other day, Nige, is that he won't stand up because he'll lose his job, or he's just so happy he's got a Premiership job. He doesn't want to rock the boat. He's happy to be here. He's probably getting paid a lot of money. It doesn't make any sense.
No, you can't blame him. His hands are tied. I don't think half the signings are his, but this is 100% right. Gray and Bergvall need to go out on loan. They should have gone out on loan already, and we should have 2 senior players in here.
Yeah.
But,
we're doing Project Youth. Draven, there's no style these days. I think you say something else. Add to this. The style these days is go down on the touch like you've been shot in the heart. So basically you're saying that players just
go down.
Just soft. They go down too easily. Where are we now? This Ashraf, the players will seem to be linked to in the gossip papers are more kids, are they? Let me think. Have I seen something? Have you seen anything, Nige?
I haven't, but I've seen a few things, but not anything I can remember. But I know they were younger players. I haven't got a quality buying young players if they're quality and they can go straight in. Not the players that we're buying.
It's not what we want, but that looks like what we're going to get. Alex said it was embarrassing advertisement for the Premier League. We made Galatasaray look like a Champions League side by fielding such a weak young team. Yeah, not good advertisement for the Premier League. And Alex says Levy had all our managers and bondage all bent over the table. Levy is the cock blocker at this club.
Absolutely, he's the main reason why we're failing.
Yeah, interesting wording, Alex, but spot on.
Absolutely.
Bent over. Oh dear. What have we come to here in this club, eh? What have we come to?
I know. I don't
know
if you want to.
Wrap up.
Go on.
Sorry, man. How can we end this stream on any kind of give us a summary, Nige. Give us a summary of the night, of what you're looking forward to or not looking forward to.
The summary of the night was a disappointing performance, and one that hopefully we can just forget and move on from. Hopefully get the players back all safe and injury free, and we move on to the weekend. That's all I can say. It was a game I expected to lose. I'm disappointed in the way we lost, even though the scoreline suggests it was pretty close. But we all know that our squad is not strong enough, and a couple of injuries, and we're in trouble. So it is what it is. We move on. We've got a massive game Saturday before the international break. Sunday, sorry, is a must-win game. We cannot afford to drop points at home. So just move on to that and get 3 points. What about you?
Yeah, an absolute dismal night, a shocking performance from Spurs, in my opinion. Ange, for me, my patience is running very, very low with him. He doesn't surprise me anymore. He's not learning. He's not mixing it up. He's not adapting. He's not doing enough for me. lot more to prove. There's a lot more games ahead. We go into Ipswich, we probably will smash them, and then everything will be great again. No, not for me. I need to see us actually do something different, better, improve. And I will keep, me and you, Nige, and all us fans will keep discussing all of this until we see something better, something different. A few more comments before we wrap up.
Yeah, get a couple more.
Couple more in. If you want someone to mind your kids, then just call Daniel Levy at Tottenham Crash FC. Galatasaray are normally in the Champions League. Yeah, they normally are. They just got knocked out in the qualifiers by Young Boys. So that's why they're not there this year. It's the same old shit every season. Win 2, lose the next 2. Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
And Nicola, if we play like this against a team against Lazio, we'll get cooked considering how organised they are. Yeah, they're good. They've got a good defence as well, that Lazio side. Organised team. Yeah. We're going to have a tough game if we come up against them. Right, Nige, so we just say thank you and goodbye to people who've come in and watched tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone that's come in and watched and commented and got involved. This hour and a half has absolutely flown by. If you haven't subscribed to Dan, I think most of you have subscribed to Dan at the Spurs Danlist. If you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe to me at Nige at Pure Coys. And we will be back on Tuesday.
Oh, no. Did I send you? Did you see the message earlier? Did I send you it? About Thursday. Did I not message you?
Thursday.
We're changing to a Thursday next week because of our next guest.
We will be back on Thursday with Beyond the Lane.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, episode 8. So hopefully see all of you there. Again, thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining me, Dan. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nige. And thank you for everybody who's watched and put their comments in the chat. Go off now and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll be back next week. Take care and good night, everybody.
That's it. Stay positive, stay poised, and stay Spurs.